political scene, and how it affects your home and your real estate investments. Real Estate Chalk Talk is where you learn the science of buying and selling real estate and the art of living in your home. Your education begins in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Hey, welcome to the program. This is your Real Estate Chalk Talk, and we're broadcasting live from the Rack Shack Barbecue studio here in Eagan, Minnesota. HittnerGroup.com, HITTNER Group. Keith?
All one word.
.com, 612-627-8000, 612-627-8000. We'd be happy to hear from you. Happy to help you in any way that we can. Of course, that first call is all with no cost and absolutely no obligation. Kids, I'm on week 3. I'm going into week 3 of the Big Rack Shack Barbecue diet.
How's it going? You dropping LBs?
I lost 4 pounds.
See? Protein.
In how many weeks?
I'm on just 2 weeks, actually.
2 weeks.
I'm
2 pounds a week as
going
long as
into
you only eat Rack Shack Barbecue.
Rack Shack Barbecue. It's just the way to do it. Perfectly portioned meal, perfectly balanced meal. Nice grass-fed. Now, I don't know if it's all grass-fed, but it's Minnesota-grown.
A lot of hormones,
Minnesota-grown
a lot of toxins.
beef. All the beef is grown right here in Minnesota, and the pork, everything that we have as far as protein is Minnesota, all within 100 miles of the big restaurant.
There you go.
There you go.
Locally sourced.
Locally sourced.
What's new? What have you guys been up to? I feel like I haven't
been around for a long time. This is
Welcome back.
This is Real Estate Chalk Talk, Keith. Welcome to the program.
Thank you. This is new for me.
Where the heck have you been?
I've been out and about. I don't know. It's crazy. August has been, I guess, vacation month for the family, and we've had 5 weekends in August, and 3 of them I'm out of town. So,
wow,
vacation month for a lot of people, I think.
I don't know.
Now
it's good to have a team to help support. Because
yes, it is.
When we have closings and walkthroughs and showings and things like that need to be taken care of, we can lean on the team a little bit to help out, and of course we do the same when they're running around too. So I appreciate the help.
I like doing that. Like our assistant she quit. She was going to take the summer off, and then she said she was just going to quit and
extend it
permanently.
That time off.
And so I've been doing a lot of that kind of work. Gives us a chance to go through our process and just kind of reevaluate some of the things that we're doing, which is good. Some things have been kind of outdated, and so we're refreshing up that.
Some redundancy.
But you know what I like about it? I mean, I am involved in every single transaction. So I really know what's going on with the team. And like Ida was gone last week. She was down in Puerto Vallarta, and so I went out and showed a couple of houses for her for a client, and they wound up writing an offer, and then so I showed it, talked to her from she was in Mexico. She wrote the offer from Mexico.
Perfect.
Perfect. It's just like, okay, I did that deal. That was fun to do, and talk to her about the property and such, and it's fun being involved in everything. I like Sheila thinks I'm nuts, but I like doing it. So.
Well, technology has significantly changed how we do things.
Oh,
so
isn't that the truth?
Much more convenient. Like, for instance, today I'll be showing houses to a client that's in Florida. And so we'll FaceTime and we'll video and we'll walk through and we'll do all that. And he's going to be making decisions based on my advice and the information that I give him remotely. And we just obviously couldn't do that, 15 years ago or 20 years ago when I started doing this. There was no way we could have done any of those things. Electronic earnest money transfer.
Yeah.
We were talking with Tyler. Tyler's in the studio today. Tyler's from Robert Thomas Homes, one of our great friends in the building industry, and his wife is with another company, and she's in Blaine. And when I got to run earnest money around, and I live in Inver Grove Heights, I have office in Apple Valley and in Edina, and a home office where I spend most of my time in those 3 offices. Running to Blaine at 2:00 in the afternoon is a huge pain in the butt. And it's nice to be able to do those things. Electronic signatures from out of town, writing purchase agreements from Mexico. It's so different than it was when we started doing this.
We had at one time 2 full-time assistants and 2 part-time assistants, and we were doing about a third of the volume that we do right now. And so right now there's just no way we could do the volume that we're doing right now 20 years ago without the technology. I mean, it just makes it so So great.
It's good when it works, but
It's
like
good
I
when-
said, when I was pulling into the parking
Yeah.
lot today, there's robots in vehicles now, right? So
Mhm.
like my Tahoe seat will buzz if there's somebody next to me or what have you. I'm literally pulling into the parking lot and slam on the brakes. The truck just stops dead. I did nothing. I'm just driving here going about 6 miles an hour, and boom, the car seats in the back fly forward.
Really?
My stuff flies off the front seat. Hard stop. Red flashes on the dash,
Well,
'cause
was
the
that
robots told the truck to stop. I don't know. Robots told the truck to stop.
Maybe there's a
Maybe there was a
rabbit.
3-year-old in front of my vehicle I didn't see.
Just can't see it. Then.
That is alarming.
That is
That's a
alarming.
little.
So technology's great when it works.
Did it start again?
Yeah, it didn't die.
Okay.
The brakes slammed on.
Yeah. But then what?
Then I stopped. I put my foot on the brake and I looked around and nothing was there.
Okay.
So then I kept driving.
Must have had
I'm glad I
a
wasn't on-
bumblebee flew in
I'm
front
glad
of
I wasn't on 494 because I would have definitely been in an accident.
you.
So,
Tyler, where do you live?
I live in Hugo
You live in Hugo, and so you commute every day
to Lakeville.
to Lakeville. That's an
Wow.
interesting drive.
Car technology is very important.
Yeah.
yeah,
Right.
there
I
you
got
go.
about an hour drive every single day.
Well, you got those alarms and all that stuff. That way, you can be working on a purchase agreement. You don't have to pay attention.
That's illegal, Keith.
Oh, it is?
That's illegal. So eyes on the road at all
Okay,
times,
okay,
right?
Okay.
10 and 2.
How long of a commute is that for you?
It's about 50 minutes to an hour, depending on traffic. So we don't start till about 11 or 12 every day.
Yeah, you guys
So,
got a cushy gig.
It's kind of
over
nice.
there.
You miss traffic on the way there, but on the way back, because you're out 5, 6, it depends.
Yeah.
It can get kind of heavy traffic through St. Paul there.
Yeah.
Going back up. I'm just so used to it. I've been in that neighborhood for 5 years.
Isn't that it? You do kind of get used to it. When I was building in Northfield, we built 4 or 5 developments down in Northfield, and I went to Northfield every day, 7 days a week. Every day I go to Northfield, and you just kind of get used to it.
Right.
It just becomes part of your rhythm. And then I do books on tape, and I'd be listening to books on the way down or talking on and when I had to switch phone services because I had at the time Verizon did not do well in Northfield. And so we had to switch to Nextel. Or was
Nextel.
Yeah,
was the
you're doing
company.
Was
the-
it Nextel?
yeah.
Yeah, the beep beep. I missed that. That was really a terrific service. And all the builders had Nextels. They were all beep beeping and stuff like that, and their little walkie-talkies. It was great. But so much time spent in the car. The sheriff knew me. I could go as fast as I wanted, and that was before we had one that worked for us. So they'd stop me, pull me over, and give me a donut, and then it'd be good. Yeah.
Yeah, I kind of like it. The windshield time. You can be productive. You can make
Mhm.
phone calls. You
Yeah.
can power through some books and,
Yeah.
and podcasts and things like that. Kind of stay sharp. I feel like if I didn't have that hour drive,
When would you do
kinda,
it?
I would kind of lose that,
Right.
with kids and just
Mhm.
how busy life is.
Mhm.
So when you work 7 days a week or 6 days a week? Or,
You guys get a couple days off, right?
You
Yeah,
got
we
a
get a
cushy
couple
deal.
days
You work
off, I
4
guess.
days a week, and then 3 hours each day. Is
Right.
that how it is?
Right. Yeah.
Construction?
No,
It's good to have
well,
you here. I
You're on
don't
the clock
take
a
as much
lot,
services.
definitely.
Yeah.
I mean, we're in the models 5 days a week.
Okay.
Technically from noon to 5. So Lisa and I will partner up. So one of us is there every single day. We're
Mhm.
open every day, 7 days a week. And but we're always working on our days off too. Because you can. It's pretty easy with, like you said, technology and things. You're kind of always on the clock.
So how does that work with your wife, who is also works for a competitor,
Mhm.
and then she's in the model too?
We have the same days off,
Okay.
right? So we do Tuesday, Wednesday as our weekend.
All right.
And that seems to work pretty well for us, just with the kids. That way we can both kind of spend time together with our kids,
Mm-hmm.
take a break that way. If we have to get some work done, we can tag team, our 2-year-old, that we have at home sometimes. But summer's just so busy.
Yeah.
It's just very nice to have that flexibility. With the way we work, our hours are not too terribly challenging. It's not like we have to be up at the butt crack of dawn to get to the model, So we still manage to get that family time and extracurricular activities.
That
with,
change
our
when the
7
fall
hours.
parade comes?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep, definitely. Yeah. I mean, it's just with Parade of Homes, whether it's the fall or the springtime, that's our busy season.
When is that fall?
Well, it's going to start in a couple of weeks here. I think it's the first Saturday
Mm-hmm.
in September, and it
You'll
goes
have
through the
longer
month.
hours then.
Yep.
Mhm.
Yep. And then Robert Thomas Homes, we actually do an extended,
Okay.
we call it an extended tour.
Hmm.
We did it last spring for the next month as well. Just because we have so many nice new showcase models.
Do you have more success, do you think, in the fall or in the spring preview or the fall parade?
We probably have more success in the spring.
Hmm.
You know, I feel like with the building industry, that's pretty common with, you know, the 6-month commitment that you have from start to finish, building a new home. People are trying to time that right with, you know, kids getting into school. And it really depends on, you know, the product too.
So we'll talk more about that with Tyler and Robert Thomas Homes when we return. We're going to head out to break here. This is Real Estate Chalk Talk. Log on to hittnergroup.com, HITTNER group.com, and we'll be right back.
Get that Rack Shack attack, Rack Shack barbecue. Ooh, 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 yeah.
And now we return to the purveyors of real estate knowledge, your Real Estate Chalk Talk.
Hey, thanks for staying with us. This is your Real Estate Chalk Talk, and we're broadcasting from the Rack Shack Barbecue Studio in Eagan, Minnesota. HittnerGroup.com is the website that you can go to. Search for properties, set up some saved searches, and see the wonderful premium listings that we have available to you all around the Twin Cities. Or give us a call at 612-627-8000. That's 612-627-8000. We'd be happy to help you in any way that we can. We're speaking with Tyler from Robert Thomas Homes, and you're in the Spirit Development in Lakeville. Before we get into that, tell us a little bit, if you can, where did Robert Thomas come from? They just kind of came on the scene here a few years ago. Give us the background there. Who are these guys?
Yeah, so Robert Thomas Homes, we, let's see, 2012
Mm-hmm.
is like kind of the first year of the company. We're part of Tradition Companies. So Tradition Development, Tradition Bank, Tradition Mortgage, Esquire Title, Capital. So we're a part of a company that's been around for over 100 years. And, you know, with that Spirit neighborhood, you know, around that 2011-12 timeframe, there was a big need for different, more price points, I guess, for that Spirit neighborhood, which is really like the flagship neighborhood.
Right.
So that's where we started. Then we just expanded from there. So now we are out in Woodbury, we're out in Chaska, Plymouth, St. Michael. I live in a Robert Thomas home in Hugo that was closed out. So we're kind of surrounding the Twin Cities area, but we are catering to folks that really want to personalize a little further. So we pride ourselves on being semi-custom.
Okay.
So we've got a variety of different, you know, thoughtfully nice floor plans using little higher quality finishes is what we're really all about. You know, the plans, the design, the finishes, the functionality of the floor plans. And then there are like 4 different collections of Robert Thomas homes.
Okay.
3 of which are single family homes. So we've got our Village collection, which you guys are familiar with, kind of the starting point. Most of the plans in that arsenal are 2 stories, and then we offer a Rambler. Start in the mid 3s, end up around mid 5s. And then you take a step
Size,
up.
what are the sizes of?
You know, anywhere from like 1,700 square feet. Could be a 2-bedroom, could be a 4-bedroom, 3-bedroom, anything in between, all the way up to like 3,000 square feet.
Okay.
And then when you take a step up to the Heritage collection, you could just think of that as like our mid-size series. Again, just offering a different price point, mid 4s to 650. All 3-car garage, anywhere from, you know, 2,500 square feet to upwards of about 4,600 square feet. Last but not least, it's our Tradition collection, and that's basically, you know, within the Spirit neighborhood, 650 and up.
Okay. All custom.
And not all custom, still that semi-custom feel. There's still that arsenal of collection there. But you know, you can get upwards of, in some cases, over $1 million. So the Spirit neighborhood really offers a wide range of price points.
And there's a difference, real quick. There's a difference between the Tradition series with Robert Thomas and Tradition Home Builders. Right?
Homes by Tradition.
Yeah. Can you explain that briefly?
Yeah, kind of a sister company of. It's all under the Tradition Company's umbrella.
Yep.
And that is a full custom home builder.
Right.
They are also building in the Spirit neighborhood as well.
Yep.
Various lots and things, but yep, kind of cut off the same.
And how
branch.
long have they been building?
That is a good question. I think longer than Robert Thomas Homes.
Sure have, yeah.
Yeah, they've been around longer. It was kind of a, you know, I'm not sure exactly when they opened.
I was glad you were coming in to talk because a lot of times I talk a lot about overall inventory of the market, different locations around the area where inventories are higher or lower, misconceptions with sellers about what they hear maybe on the news or from other real estate agents. And we talk about different communities like Woodbury, Lakeville, Plymouth, in these areas where, inventory, if you look at where inventory of homes are, it's like 12,000 homes on the market. However, in areas like Woodbury, Plymouth, Lakeville, that number is significantly higher because of the available new construction. And you guys have been in Lakeville for a long time. You don't have to deal with the resale market. So if I come in and sell a house either in Spirit, which we have over the last 6 months, or anywhere else in Lakeville, it's a little bit different animal than selling a house in Eagan or selling a house in Minneapolis for that matter, because the inventory is not really 400 two-stories available. It's probably 1,000 because of the available lots that builders have and things like that. It makes it more challenging. You guys have been there for a long time, and I know you just opened up a new phase that's more of like a townhome type scenario, or what's that one over there?
Not quite yet. We do have our single-level villa collection, which is the single-level Rambler-style townhome. It's maintenance-free, very popular. She's got about a handful left of that collection. And then I think coming up this winter, we'll start to see a new collection. It's called RT Urban, which is a new townhome collection that we're going to be doing, made up of attached and detached style townhomes, which will be great.
And that's north of the second pool, right? Kind of in that location.
Yep. East of the elementary school.
Yep.
Right there. Yep, by Hy-Vee and that kind of area. So that's pretty exciting.
What I love about your company that you work with is the attention to detail. I'm closing on a Heritage next week that's backing up to a lovely pond, and it has a very nice flat backyard, and it's a walkout too. So to get the nice flat backyard within the plan and have a walkout and be on a pond.
That's good.
Most of the time, if you have of the time, if you have a walkout, you're kind of losing your backyard just because of the nature of the development and the grade you need for the walkout, and then builders trying to get as many homes as they can within the development, and then with the pond as well with the lowland. So it's a wonderful home. But my point with the attention to detail is that nothing was missed throughout the process. And I'm building with another builder right now, and I got an email from my client and on another property that's in the location around the area. It's in Apple Valley, and there's a punch list of like 12 things. We're doing a pre-drywall next week, and before the pre-drywall, we have like 12 things we need to correct before because the client had gone in.
Wow.
And these items are done already. They're quote unquote done from builder standards. But it's a different process that we're seeing. They have a lot of things to correct, and all of our appointments with Robert Thomas have been pretty crisp, and there hasn't been anything really missed. Not that everybody doesn't make mistakes, but it's been mistake-free so far that we've seen with this particular house. It's been great.
That's good to hear. That's good to hear. We got it pretty much dialed in on that aspect of the business and I think a big part of that is communication.
Yeah.
And having a next step all the time. These people, they don't do this every day.
Right.
So the more you can communicate during the process of construction, the better.
What's coming up?
We like to have the home done a good week and a half to 2 weeks before they actually close, and actually introduce them to the home by that time. If there are any things outside of that time period, we got enough time to fix it, essentially.
Sure. Yeah, and a walkthrough before the final, let's say.
Right.
Is always great to have, which is something that you guys do, and we had that last week. And of course, there's going to be touch up here and there, but we're not talking significantly missed items, and it's been just great to work with Robert Thomas. We got a handful of transactions going right now, and they're all running pretty smooth. Yeah.
Talk about that process then, because I've repped probably 8 different builders, and some of them were pretty good. Some of them had a fairly good process, but no one has had a process like you've had. So, and that's why I was excited that you agreed to come in and talk to us. So how does that develop over time? I mean, was there a group of people that sat down and said, look, this is going to be our communication, or how did that unfold over time? Because it is so good.
I think we've definitely evolved. I started with the company 5 years ago, and I think when I started with it, the construction team, we weren't doing the volume that we were doing at this point, but the construction team actually also quarterbacked the customer service part of the business as
All
well. And then we've evolved as a company to actually have a full customer service team that takes care of the customer, basically at closing and on. So that's a big part of our focus for sure, is to make sure we are doing the right thing during the process of construction, but also taking care of folks afterwards. I've been in this business since 2005 selling new homes, and this is the first neighborhood, the Spirit neighborhood, that I've been in where I've seen the amount of repeat buyers.
Mm-hmm.
So
Right, where
that
they
really,
buy in there and then they're
it's
moving within the community.
within the community, same builder, sometimes the same salesperson, and
Wow.
it's just like an amazing credit to the neighborhood and to Robert Thomas Homes. So it just kind of proves that I think we're doing the right thing out there, and we're offering a great home.
We're going to go out to break here in a minute, but when we come back, I want to talk about the differentiating points that differentiates Robert Thomas from other national builders or semi-custom builders that are fine builders, and obviously they're good because they're some of the largest builders in the country, so they've got their act together too as far as that kind of a thing. But there are some very definite differentiating points between you and some of them at the same price point. So we want to talk about that when we come back.
Sounds good. We'll touch on that when we return. This is Real Estate Chalk Talk. Again, we're talking with Tyler Johansson from Robert Thomas Homes. RobertThomasHomes.com is the website. You can log on to our website at HittnerGroup.com. That's HITTNER Group.com. There you can search for properties or check your home value, all at HittnerGroup.com, or give us a call, 612-627-8000, and we'll be right back.
Get that Rack Shack attack, Rack Shack barbecue. Ooh, 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 yeah.
And now we return to the purveyors of real estate knowledge, your Real Estate Chalk Talk.
Hey, thanks for staying with us. This is your Real Estate Chalk Talk, broadcasting from the Rack Shack Barbecue Studio in Eagan, Minnesota. HittnerGroup.com is the website to go to, HITTNER Group, all one word, HittnerGroup.com, or give us a call, 612-627-8000. That's 612-627-8000. Either Keith Reno or myself will answer the phone, and we'd be happy to. It's always Keith Reno. I don't know how you get those calls so quick. You must just have it going to you, huh?
I've been fishing for the last 3 weeks. I don't know what you're
Jeepers
talking
creepers.
about.
I mean, it's 612-627-8000.
Yeah, got into them.
Love to talk to you. Okay, so Tyler's on the program. We're with Robert Thomas Homes. We've been talking about the Spirit development and Robert Thomas, a little bit about the history of the company, how it got started. They're a notch above in quality, fit, and finish, we feel, from other builders. But what is Tyler, when you're sitting down and talking to somebody and you say, I was in here from XYZ builder and they have, this house, it's a 2-story with a 3-car garage and blah, blah, blah for this amount of money. What are your differentiating points?
From how we're building the home.
Yeah, how you're building, and maybe some of the standard
neighborhoods
features and some of those types of things.
I think our standard features are above and beyond a lot of the builders in this price point. We're offering things like, it's 4-side architectural detail, so we don't really mess around with vinyl siding.
Mm-hmm.
It's LP Smart Side, all 4 sides, and that's just standard. A lot of
Mm-hmm.
times builders will kind of dress up the fronts of the home, and
Right.
the remaining 3 sides will be vinyl.
Right.
So we just it's standard to have that. So that's huge. That's a big ticket item on homes. Landscape, that's turnkey ready. You don't really have to worry about adding an irrigation system, sod, trees, mulch. It's all included.
Mm-hmm.
You walk into every single one of our homes, and it's a nice grand feel with big windows, and pretty much all of our floor plans, 9-foot ceilings, 8-foot doors. It's a subtle thing,
Yeah,
but
huge
it's a
difference.
really
You
big
notice it.
difference
Yep,
when
you
you
really do.
walk in. Custom cabinetry, things like that.
That's a big deal.
Yeah, it's not the cheap box cabinets that you see.
I'm so surprised at how many times you go into a house that's $600,000 from a national builder and they have a very cheap cabinet in there.
Yep. It means a lot. It's something you use every single day, so you want it to obviously last,
Mhm.
and you can really feel the difference. But it's those things that you don't necessarily think about because you don't buy a home every day,
Mhm.
so
Right.
you really have to point these items out.
Right.
Our trim, I mean, it's painted on site. It's not like we're installing the trim work, the base and casing, putty in it, and walking away. It's
Right.
repainted, so it's got that kind of high and tight look,
Mhm.
and you notice it for sure. So we're incorporating a lot of even nice big optional items too in our homes. I mean, a big one's like the bonus room.
Mhm.
We've
Yep.
incorporated that space in a lot of our floor plans, and it's been very popular. I
Right.
feel like if people have to, decide between finishing a lower level and choosing a bonus room, like they
Mhm.
can't do both, they're
Right.
gonna pick that bonus room.
Really?
So
And
that's
another one,
interesting.
you say you have a Robert Thomas home in Hugo. Did you do the sport court?
Well, no, I didn't. I bought the model, so I didn't actually go through
Sure.
the building process. But oh my God, those are getting a lot more popular too.
Right.
I mean, if it fits the budget, do it. This is a state that we have very long winters, and when you have kids, what better
They
way?
need to be active,
I
man.
mean, they're home, they're safe,
Yeah.
but they can kind of do whatever they want in those sport courts, and we do it right. It's like a real sport court.
Yeah.
Sport court floors, the padding,
Yeah.
the hoop. They're
And you can get
wow
creative with them
factor.
too. We got some friends in the development down there in Spirit that have some cool stuff going on there.
Yep. You kind of pick your logo and you personalize it a little further, and that's really where the
pretty cool.
semi-custom.
Yeah, I know you'd
comes
like.
into
He's a
play,
big
too.
basketball guy. So.
Put some refrigerant in there, and you can have yourself an indoor hockey.
I'm more of a
Oh,
hockey
yeah.
guy,
Huh?
so I might have the street hockey, going on, roller hockey going on. But
Sky's the limit with that kind of space.
yeah, pretty
Sure.
cool.
What talk about decks and patios? So many of the nationals right now, for sure, they won't even put a ledger board on anymore, and they do not do decks. Even if you ask them to do it, they just say no, they won't do it. What is the reason for that? But you have a different philosophy too at Robert Thomas.
Well, for
Homes.
sure, Robert Thomas. Yeah, I think specifically the Spirit neighborhood,
Mhm.
for good reason, has that covenant where you have to have a deck if it's going to be a walkout or a lookout type lot. Basically, what we're trying to do is avoid doors to nowhere.
Mhm.
So at a minimum, we put a deck on, so it's like fit, complete, finished. It's done. You don't have to worry about the integrity of the neighborhood later on. So I really like that. It's a little tricky discussion because a lot of people kind of like, they're like, oh, I'll just do my own deck and I
Sure.
can save some money, put more money into the home. But I think at the end of the day, long term,
Mhm.
people in the neighborhood at least really like that.
Well, sure. You
aspect
drive
of
through a
it.
lot of neighborhoods right now that are 10 years old, and
Yeah.
every third or fourth house has a deck. The rest do not.
Right. And
Right.
it's like 8 years
Mhm.
later, it's a snowball effect. So I
Right.
think,
Or the ledger board
yeah.
is on there and it's curling and peeling off, and it creates a warranty issue too.
Right, exactly. So we strive to make sure our neighborhoods are complete,
Mhm.
looking great. They'll stand the test of time. All of our floor plans and homes have like these big extended front porches as well.
Mhm.
So those
Those are
outside
great.
spaces are
Yeah.
great. It kind of encourages, neighborhood camaraderie,
Community aspect
community.
of it, yeah.
Yep. The Spirit neighborhood especially.
Let's talk about Spirit and the neighborhood,
Mhm.
if you will. What are the different areas in there? There's walking paths all through, and you've got a couple of clubhouses. What are those facilities used for, and who are they available to?
Yeah, those are great. So the neighborhood's kind of made up of small lakes and ponds, and you've got these winding roads and walking and biking trails, and they all lead to the clubhouses. There's 2 community centers. They actually restored the original branch barn into a one-of-a-kind
Mhm.
neighborhood community
It's
center.
awesome.
If you haven't
Yeah.
seen it, check it out during the parade. It's one of a kind. And then we built a brand new granary, we call it, community center. Each will have a pool, workout facilities, game rooms, banquet room, and kitchen. So it's like literally perfect to throw kind of maybe a big event or something you wouldn't necessarily want to throw at your home.
Mhm.
It's a great place to gather for the neighborhood. So awesome neighborhood, more than just a bunch of homes,
Mhm.
essentially.
Right.
So have you guys replicated that barn in other developments then, or is that just
Yeah.
that's what I've noticed as I've been out to different developments.
Yeah, not all of our neighborhoods have a community center, but we like to do that. That's been a big theme of ours, is to have that kind of, again, neighborhood camaraderie, place to meet, pool, community center, workout facility. People like that lifestyle. They like that, you spend a lot of time in your neighborhood and you want to kind of have that sort of safe place to be as well.
It is safe. I was showing actually some resale homes in Spirit this week, and we're standing in the driveway of the house. And first of all, I just pointed out, I said, just look across the street now. Look at those homes. They're beautiful, and they're 10 years old, and they're gorgeous. The whole neighborhood is gorgeous. And here comes a little kid. He looked like, he was riding a bike with training wheels on it. So he's driving across the thing, down the path, over to the playground area, all by himself, and said, "This is a safe neighborhood.
Yeah.
The kids are out riding around
that's
on the
cool.
bike paths and going to the
Were those your
park and
actual
going-"
words?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
I like it. I like it.
I mean, obviously the parents feel this because the kids are out there and they're out and about.
No question.
Well, those trails it's so well designed. A lot of those trails will actually go under like what would be considered a little busier road. So
Mhm.
like there'll be tunnels and things like that. So it is a very safe,
Environment.
It's attention to detail on that. Yep.
Yeah, and well, what I got thinking was how family friendly, is this for anybody, from any age group? Because if as a grandparent, you can be out there. You got your one level detached townhomes. You've got that neighborhood, good walkability to grocery and restaurants, and that kind of fun stuff, and still be interconnected with all age groups. And many different price brackets in there, and yeah, it's really a good neighborhood, spirit neighborhood. How would they get a hold of you again?
You can get a hold of me anytime at 651-336-3288.
It's Robert Thomas Homes, Tyler Johansson.
Tyler Johansson.
How many
Thomas
homes?
Robert Thomas
.com.
Homes.
How many homes
Good
in the
question,
development? How many are left?
And yeah, what do you got left over there?
Good question. Roughly 700 homeowners in the neighborhood, and I would say single family wise, we've got about 100 ahead of us right now. So we're getting down to the end, which is kind of a good thing.
Yeah.
You're investing into a new home, and you're not like crossing your fingers hoping it turns out.
Right.
This is a neighborhood you drive through it.
Right.
It's turned
done.
out. It's done. It's got that thing going for it.
Any
But,
more plans to the east with the development there?
yeah, I wish I knew.
Yeah.
I guess it's a little above my pay grade, but I
Okay.
have no idea. I'm assuming.
There's a lot
at
of
some
land
point.
sitting there.
Yeah.
Still.
There's a lot of land and
All the way over to Dodd.
pretty
Yeah.
much. Yeah.
Or Highway 3 rather.
Yep.
Cool. Well, we really appreciate you coming in. It's been a fun conversation. We'll see you around the neighborhood. We got a couple deals to close yet together. So
I love it. I
Yeah.
love it. Thanks for having me.
thank you so much. Robert Thomas Homes, Tyler Johansson, robertthomashomes.com. You can click on communities and floor plans there on their website. A lot of options around the Twin Cities. Thanks again for coming in.
Thanks, guys.
612-627-8000 is our phone number. You can always call us on the phone at 612-627-8000 or visit us online at hittnergroup.com. Hittnergroup.com, Hittner group.com. There you can check your home value or search for properties for sale. Check out the blog as well, all at hittnergroup.com. And we'll be right back.
Get that Rack Shack attack, Rack Shack barbecue. Ooh, 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 yeah.
Segments of the show is like this. Hey, welcome back to the program. This is your Real Estate Chalk Talk. We're broadcasting from the Rack Shack Barbecue in Eagan, Minnesota. Hittnergroup.com, Hittner Group, all one word, Hittnergroup.com. 612-627-8000, 612-627-8000. Okay, Money Man.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. Nice to be part
I
of the
forgot,
show.
I forgot you were
welcome.
here.
Did you just get
What?
here?
No, I've been here the whole time.
playing
It's just hard
games on
to.
his phone.
I was not. I was responding to one client, but that was
A
it.
little Candy
And,
Crush over there? Is that
Look,
still
Candy
a
Crush.
thing?
I can go fast back and forth. No, it's a good conversation you had with Robert Thomas. They have a nice product, so it was a good conversation.
You're doing
So
a couple of financings in there.
We're doing a
too.
couple
Yeah.
in there, so you bet.
That's good.
So it's kind of fun to compete. They're a good builder, and they're real open to outside lenders as well. So just have to be able to win the deal, right?
Yeah, that's right.
So, well, let's talk mortgages and money real quick. So
Speaking of winning the deal,
winning the deal, holy cow, mortgage rates fall. Some headlines: mortgage rates fall back down to 3-year lows.
Nice.
Nice.
what's that mean?
Means they're really low.
Well, I know, but like on a 10-year,
So 30-year
10-year arm.
10-year arm. Gosh, 10-year arm, 3 1/8.
That's pretty good.
It's pretty good.
We want to do a 10-year arm?
No.
You could probably qualify now.
Yeah, probably. Good, finally.
Finally.
After my audit.
So 30-year. So let's just talk a little bit. What's happening? I was reading this morning, and I'll just read this, and
Okay.
and then you tell me that you don't understand it.
All right.
And it says
And
the
then you'll
yield on the
explain it.
Treasury note has fallen below the 2-year yield for the first time since the financial crisis, causing a sell-off in the stock market. The 30-year yield is at an all-time low. The inverted yield curve has preceded every recession since 1950 by 7 to 24 months. So in that makes no
7
sense.
to 24 months.
Yeah,
Yeah,
right.
really.
So 7 months to 24. So basically what they're seeing
For
is
the remainder of this year or 2 years after, it's
Right.
possible.
Well,
Yeah.
the thing of it is that the market's always correct,
Yeah.
right? So it's just that's a safe prediction. You wouldn't need to
Well,
invert
what-
a yield
what
curve
they're-
for that. You just
yeah,
know
what they're
that.
saying there is basically that these are signs of a potential recession down the road. Which
So what if it turns back up again?
then rates will go back up again?
I know. Then,
Right? I mean,
then their prediction kind of goes
Right.
out the window.
Well, just like every year, in January. In January we laid off 14 people in our corporate office. We have called every one of them back to try to hire them back because
Really?
we are so
busy.
right? So no one anticipated this. Every prediction at the beginning of the year was that there would be a 30 to 40% reduction in originations this year.
Really?
So we were all kind of like, buckled in the beginning of the year, accept the grind, bottom line money, right? Just be really cautious on everything you're doing. And then we see some of these things shift in the marketplace, and some of that's precipitated by trade, right? So what Trump's doing there, the stock market, the bond market, what's happening. So all those things together, no one cares really about the detail. They care about the fact that, rates are really low. I have the ability to, refinance. We've got a lot of refinances going, and, just some of the things, things people forget about. You get a refund of that escrow account. Now you set your new one up, but you get that refund of that current one. So sometimes people are like, gosh, that's great. It's like $2,000 to $4,000. Gets that in my pocket, take care of some bills that we have. They skip a month's payment, which is kind of cool, right? So now
which is their own money anyways. It's
their own
just
money,
like you
right?
just threw this money back over here, and now, but
now
here
you
it is
get it
back out, and you feel like, I
Hey,
should spend
Alan.
this.
Yep. Well, we do, debt consolidation. We're going through saying, well, what if we paid this off as well and took a little money out because appreciation has come up nicely. We're getting rid of mortgage insurance like crazy. We're getting rid of second mortgages and home equity lines of credit like crazy. We're lowering payments. And if you mention the radio show, there's no appraisal, right? So
all of a sudden you could easily find yourself having $1,000 or more less payments every month, saving $1,000 or more a month.
we have people that we've closed literally 6 months ago going, it just seems to make sense. Let's go. Because we're saving them literally a point in rate. So it's really a good time. And then at the same time, the purchase market continues to be there, continues to be swift in anything up to about 350. We see it being still very swift. So we've got that going. So it's just really a good time for us. Our turn times for underwriting, added a day, right? Usually that's 24, 48 hours. Well, now that's 2 to 3 days, So we've seen a little bit of that, but still it's nice being a local, the largest non-bank lender in Minnesota. It's really nice. Last month we closed 1,003 files in the Twin Cities. So somebody asked me last night, I had a loan app that came off the radio show, and he said, so are you guys pretty competitive in rate and stuff like that? I said, well, we closed 1,003 loans in the Twin Cities last month. I think we're pretty good,
Yeah.
And by the way, I'll cover the appraisal. We're getting rid of all this. No money, just like, boy, it just makes sense. It's pretty easy, So we're pretty excited.
Call you at 651-231.
Yep.
2500. Get yourself a free appraisal and a free cup of coffee.
Free cup of coffee as well. And then for our purchases, what's kind of neat, this new promotion we're doing there is we are rekeying your home for free. So part of just as a closing gift, we use a moving concierge service called Relocator. And we love those guys over there. They're doing a great job. We're getting tremendous feedback. So we're just doing I was talking with Mark that runs that and said, hey, let's do a promotion together. So we're doing that together. So no cost to the consumer. And we rekey up to 4 doors, 4 locks. They come out, rekey. And then
that's a great service.
It's a great service, right? And then also they'll go, hey, do you want like you did for us, the buttons that you push for your keypad? So you might want to upgrade one door or do this or that. So it's really a neat service that we're doing there. We also continue to have our second look rewards program. So if you're pre-approved with any other lender and say, gosh, I just want a second opinion, we will give you a $50 Amazon gift card just to take a look. And if we can win, you get the gift card. If we can't win, you get the gift card. but we haven't lost yet.
That's
So,
good, too.
so it's kind of a fun, I feel like we're just kind of clicking on all cylinders and, doing well. Fortunate to run a nice, region for AMIC, and our group did $49 million last month in home loans. So we're just crushing it right now. So if you are thinking about it, I'd love you to give me a call, 651-231-2500, and just call. Let's have a conversation. Let's see what we can do. And as you guys know, and everybody makes fun of it a little bit, but I do like to have a cup of coffee, and I do like to go through the numbers with them, because I'll tell you, in that conversation, we discover a lot, right? So
Right.
I have had a number of appointments this week that, people just say, hey, okay, do your thing. What do you do?
Right.
So we get the credit report out, we start going through it, and we start peeling back what we can do and put them in a smarter financial position. So go to mysmartermortgage.com as well if you just want to quick fill out an inquiry there as
Get
well.
started.
So
I love that part of it too, because we've been able to take. We just had Robert Thomas in here, and they have a very competitive mortgage company as part of that ownership group, and great rates, and they do a fine job. And so a lot of times when you have a situation like that, it's a captive situation. It's like there's no way you're going to come in from the outside and compete. But you came in and, in fact, not just competed, but actually beat their own internal company in a couple of those circumstances. And one this week, I texted the buyer, and I said, it's worth a phone call. Just call Calvin.
Yep.
He texted me back and said, I can't believe it. I can't believe it. He beat him. He was all excited about it because of that. So you've got some really good new construction products available to you.
Yep. And flexibility in how we structure, right? So there's a lot of good flexibility in here. So
I like to see the AMEC approval letter on my listings too, even if it's not your company, multiple offer situation, or not your branch, multiple offer situation. Got the AMEC gal or guy on the other side that's doing the financing. It's comforting. Yeah,
at least right?
Yeah.
Like if something goes south, it's 494 in France, and we're moving our corporate office too at the end of next month over to 100 and 494. We bought a building over there, so
wonderful.
We'll have it identified on the building as well. So that's kind of fun. And, they're really
excited about that.
Yeah, they're tricking it out pretty well. So
Cool.
the outside of the building's pretty plain, but the inside is going to be really good and doing some things there. So yeah, it's a great time to be in our business. It's a great time to reevaluate where you're at. I did my own refinance in my own home that I moved in a year ago, because I could drop a point in rate. I mean, it's just crazy. So call me, 651-231-2500. Let's see whether or not it makes sense, and I bet it will.
You eat your own food.
I'm sorry?
You eat your own food. That's what they say.
Food. I don't know what that means.
Well, that's because a lot of it's a restaurant.
Yeah.
You eat your own food. Yeah, okay, so when you refinance yourself, you eat your own food.
I don't know.
You're not real,
What was your rate on your property?
It was 4 1/8. Now it's 3 1/8. 10-year arm.
Wow, you're big time.
Big time, baby. No. All right, that's what I got.
CoreLogic came out this week with a report saying it's the lowest foreclosure rate in 20 years.
Wow.
I mean, do you see any change in qualifying things or credit things, student loans, anything on the horizon?
Well, we got rid of a lot of bad products, in the industry. So I think it's really traditional lending again. And we're starting to see some of the Angel Oak, some of those companies come out with some of the non-traditional products again, but it's a really small percentage of the business.
That's it for this week on Your Real Estate Chalk Talk. See you next week.
You've been listening to Your Real Estate Chalk Talk with the Hittner Group, the leaders of the #1 Coldwell Banker Burnett real estate team in Minnesota. If you want to get more when you